Hey, what's up guys, Jeremy here from RoboDK. Welcome to another video of the tutorial series covering the basics of RoboDK software. Now that we know how to import robots and create a reference frame, we will learn to import objects and to create custom tools. That will conclude the basic steps to create a fully custom robotic station. Remember that everything that I'm showing you in this video is complementing our online documentation. Okay, let's get started. Here we have the station we created in the last video. It's composed of a UR10E and a reference frame. Now let's add an object to that station. I can click the blue folder in the toolbar to open the local library. It contains a bunch of examples that I highly recommend you to take a look at. We will go through those in a future video. In this case, I'm looking for the object called Object Inspection. I can either choose the STL1 or the Step 1. Both formats are supported by RoboDK. If I select the .stp1 and I click on Open, the object will be imported in the station. You can also import objects in RoboDK by simply dragging and dropping the file in your station. Let me show you. If I delete this object and I open the local library in the normal Windows File Explorer, I can drag and drop the Object Inspection file on RoboDK to import it in the station. Just like that. By doing so, the part was imported at the root of the station tree. In this case, I want the part in the reference frame, frame 2 that I just created. To do that, I just need to right-click the object and hold. Then, I need to drag it on top of frame 2. When I let go the right button of my mouse, I have the options to move the part before, nested, or after frame 2. In this case, I want it nested. The object is now part of the reference frame, frame 2. That means that the position of the object will be calculated with respect to the position of the frame 2. In other words, if I move frame 2, the objects will move with it. Okay, next thing to do is to create a custom tool. RoboDK already offers a few tools to work with in its online library, but most of the robotic cells you will create will require you to design custom tools. The process to create that is similar to the process of importing an object. Okay, let's go in the local library and look for the paint gun object. Okay, open. As for the previous example, the object was imported at the root of the station. To convert it into a tool, you just need to right-click and hold, drag and drop it on top of the robot. And finally select Nested. The normal object automatically became a tool object. I can double-click on it to see the details. Once your tool is properly nested with the robot, it is possible that the position of the geometry is wrong. In this example, everything is fine. But if I switch to that other example, and I do the same procedure, okay, you can see that the tool is off-center with the flange. The reason for that situation is pretty simple. When the part was designed back in the CAD software, the origin of the part was positioned here instead of here. So, the first trick would be to keep that in mind when you design your part. But if you are stuck with that problem and you can't go back to the design software, you can go in the Tool Details window and click on More Options. Here we have a few options. But the one we were looking for is the Move Geometry. If I bring my cursor over the green text box, which represents a translation along the y-axis, I can use my scroll wheel to move that geometry. It seems like 50 mm is perfect. Now I want to click Apply Move. That will redefine the origin of that object geometry. Okay, let's go back to our original example. By default, when you create a tool from a custom object, RoboDK creates the tool TCP at 00200. For those who may not know, TCP means tool center point. It could represent the end of a gripper or the tip of a welding gun. In this case, it should be at the end of the paint spray, right here. We have two ways to move it. We can change the coordinate value in the Tool Details window, or we can hold Shift and Alt and position it manually, just like that. The straight arrows and squares are useful to move it around. and the curved arrows are useful to reorient it. Now, we can also add a second TCP with respect to the first one. This situation can be useful if we need two different distances between the part and the paint gun. Right-click on the robot and click Add Tool. Now, double-click on it in the station tree. In the Tool Details window, you can change the value of the tool center point with respect to from the robot to the paint gun. Once you have that done, you can modify the position of that second TCP. Let's put it at 200 millimeters on the Z-axis. There we go, pretty good. Okay, that's pretty much everything for RoboDK's basic station creation guide. I really hope it was helpful. In the next series, we will learn to create a simple robot program using the station we just set up. Have a good day, guys.